Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of Square Enix's Bring Arts Final Fantasy VII, Cait Sith, and Fat Moogle. And holy cow, is this box massive. This thing is a beefcake. If you've seen my other videos or if you've been collecting these Bring Arts, they're 1/12 scale, 6-inch figures on a small side. And this box just blows the rest out of the water. This thing is massive. In fact, I have a tape measure here. As you can see, this thing is a little over 11.5 inches long. It is over 9 inches tall, and depth is 7.5 inches. So this thing is huge. I cannot believe how big this Moogle is going to be. I haven't opened him yet. He and Vincent just arrived from Plaza Japan today. It took forever. Shipping took forever to get him over here, but they're both here. I can now say I've completed my party of the original FF7 figures or characters. But man, I'm so excited to review this guy and to show you guys what this thing looks like out of packaging. I thought I'd be able to get all these in one DTOF shelf. After this, I'm not so sure. We'll see. But, typical Bring Arts packaging, at the white with the gray stripe, Final Fantasy VII with the logo, Bring Arts action figure, Cait Sith, and Fat Moogle. This is release number 11. I'll show all the boxes later on, but this is release number 11. And here's Cait Sith on top of the Fat Moogle. This thing is huge. The box does have some minor damage. Not a huge deal. I don't really sell. I collect and enjoy and review. I will keep the boxes for these, but it is a bit damaged. They packaged it good. The box was kind of damaged on the outside, but I don't know if this was already like this in the warehouse or what, but it's definitely dinged up, as you can see. But there's the side of it. Here is the back. It is thicker cardboard than the other Bring Arts boxes, so they tried their best to keep this thing, in good condition. But, here's some pictures we have. I haven't looked at this guy. I haven't watched any reviews yet. But we got some pictures of what you can do with him. There's a stand to make him stand on top of the Moogle. And then here's all he comes with. And so, wow, look at this. This is just fantastic. And, of course, wanted to show that this is an official product. There's the hologram down there. So let me get this thing unboxed, and let's take a closer look at Cait. Okay, and I thought I'd just show you guys what this thing looks like before I take it out of the plastic. This kind of got bent up a little bit, so it definitely got kind of bashed around inside the packaging. But there's the directions, and it's pretty basic stuff. His hands, interchangeable arms, which is kind of cool. And then it shows you how to put on the hands on both sides. Here is the stand that it connects to the wings on the back of the Moogle to make it look like he's standing on top of the Moogle. And then it comes with one megaphone. I'm not sure if, I think it's the golden megaphone. I'm not positive. But yeah, let me try and get this top packaging off. Oh, he's actually, yeah, okay. So there we go. Check this thing out. It comes in a bag. It is so huge and heavy. I cannot get over how big this Fat Moogle is for a 1/12 scale. I feel like, and I know this isn't based off of Rebirth, but I feel like this thing is bigger than it was in any of the games. Maybe I'm wrong. And if for those of you out there that are weird and love the smell of plastics and figures, this one gives off a funky smell. It's definitely a different type of plastic than what they've used so far. Yeah, this thing is massive. Holy smokes, I can't get over how big this Moogle is. They said Fat Moogle, they weren't joking. His wings are in place, they don't move. There's the zipper. That is so cool that he has the zipper. The zipper doesn't work, it's locked in place. Oh my God. So they're kind of a soft plastic, so they won't break, which is nice. The ears are a harder plastic, so be careful with those. But the arms do move. I think they just rotate. Let me try and get a better look here. Yeah, they don't move in and out. They just go up and down. Still, I mean, you're not going to do much with this Moogle anyway, other than just display him kind of like this. But I can't believe how massive this Moogle is. Okay, let me get the rest of the stuff unpackaged, Cait, and we'll get a closer look at everything. Alrighty, and here is Cait Sith, the Fat Moogle, and everything he comes with. And I can't stop smiling. This is super cool. I've got him already posed, and I'll show how that works. But this thing is going to have an amazing shelf presence on wherever you display him, especially if you have the other figures around him. And I got to say, there was one QC issue that we'll talk about in a minute. Not a big deal, but something I want to talk about, because this Bring Arts FF7 figures have been loaded with QC issues. If you watch some of my previous reviews, or if you have these figures, you probably know it's gotten better with later releases. But there was one with this guy that I've seen so far. But otherwise, just take a look at this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Look at how awesome he looks on top of the fat Moogle. Yeah, this is super cool. Super cool. And so he comes with, like most Bring Arts, extra hands. So he's got 4 or 5. He has 7 hands in total. And they come with this little stand. This stand is see-through. Usually they're not, so that's a little different. And then he comes with the megaphone, which I think this is the golden megaphone. And to my excitement, it's loaded with materia. That's been a complaint with me for some of these Play Arts Kai and Bring Arts figures, is there's not enough materia. Or even some of them don't have materia. But he's got a bunch of green here. So super cool he has that. And then instead of having elbow articulation, maybe they were afraid because it's so small, he comes with 3 different sets of arms. They're interchangeable, so you can, use this one and use that one if you wanted. Or the straight ones that he comes with right there. So pretty cool they do that. And as far as the hands, going back to the hands, only one of them carries the megaphone, and that's this right hand right here. He has 2 open splayed hands and then 2 fists, and then along with these like welcoming hands. It's like welcome to the golden saucer or something like that, right? And then he has a typical display base that all these other Bring Arts figures have come with. 2 different things to hold him up with. They're both probably too big for as small as he is. But, I mean, chances are you're going to display him the way I have him up on this stand, which I will now show you guys how that works. It's pretty cool engineering. So it plugs into the back, almost like a Figma. As you can see, the cape goes up on a hinge, and it allows the flight arm to have this extra piece to plug into the end. And then there's this piece right here, which goes behind the wings. And I would suggest just being careful, because you do got to pull the wings back a bit. And while it's pliable, I don't know if this is how well this is glued on. So just be careful when you pull them back to get this plastic piece to slide through. And that's what holds them in place. So you can get him, if you want to get him jumping off the top, you can do that. But I think, this shot, like right here, you can't even tell he's on a stand, which is super cool. Let me zoom in and check him out. He's got the crown. His eyes are closed, which I think is perfect. His little cape. And he's got some nice articulation for being a small figure, which we'll go over here in a minute. But man, this is really cool. And, I had said in a previous review that I wouldn't get any more of these Bring Arts figures, and here I am. I think, stopping at just the team. I'm not going to go into the Turks. They're up for pre-order now. But I will say why I got these is I wanted to finish the collection out, but I also found a better place to get them from. Here in North America, they're quite pricey because they're from Japan. I found Plaza Japan to be the place where I got mine from for the cheapest cost. And I'll go over cost here in the end. But for now, let's just enjoy this figure a bit more. That fat Moogle is indeed fat. Man. The zipper. I'm real impressed with this release. And, are these things overpriced? Yes, they are. Even if I lived in Japan, they'd be probably more than what they're worth as far as a cost. But do they look great on a shelf? Absolutely. I mean, and Cait's not even one of my favorite characters in FF7. But, man, this is one of my favorite releases so far. I'll say that much. The last one I reviewed was Sid, and again, Sid's not one of my favorite characters, and I thought he was one of the best releases so far. So I feel like they're getting better. as they kind of finish out this line. So let me take this apart and we'll go over articulation. Okay, first up, the big Moogle. So as I showed earlier in the video, it just is arms that move. And I think it's not squishy. It's a harder plastic, which is nice. But the arms go up like that. Oh, the wrists do rotate. So the wrists do rotate too. So that's some, you know, more articulation than I expected. But the arms don't go out. They're not on like ball joints. They're just on like I guess a hinge joint, that would be maybe. Not sure. The feet don't move. They're locked in. There's nothing on the bottom of the feet. I thought maybe there would be a stamp there for when it was made, where it was made. It's probably on the on Cait Sith. And then the little wings are, oh, here's where the stamp is, right here. Yeah, it's right here. Made in China. Square Enix. Too bad it wasn't on the bottom of the foot. Anyway, so there's the zipper. The zipper does not move either. It's in place, but it's a cool feature. They got that there. And the head. Does the head move? No, the head does not. Oh, the head does rotate. I'm finding more and more articulation with this guy as I play with him. His head moves, but barely. It's a really tight thing. But his head does move. So his head, his arms, and his wrist all move. So not terrible. Okay, now let's get into Cait Sith, because he has got actually quite a bit of articulation for being such a small figure. So the QC issue I mentioned earlier, what it was his head on a ball joint, and his head was off in packaging, and I could not for the life of me get the head on. So I heated his head up, the bottom of it, with a hairdryer for about 20 seconds, and I was able to, I think I have it on, but it's not, that head's gonna fall off. So just know that head is going to probably fall off on you, but it's on a ball joint, so it can move, it can twist. I'm being real careful with it, but yeah, that's that. And then his cape has got a hinge here. You can see the metal here, so the cape can go up, which is really cool. There's the hole for his back to plug in the stand, and his tail's on a ball joint. The tails come off a few times. It just slides on, so you can turn the tail around if you want. However you want the tail to go, you can do, which is pretty neat. The shoulders do go up and down, like the other Bring Arts figures. They go up over 90. And then these ones, there's no articulation in the elbow. That's why they gave you the other arms to use. But the hands are on a ball hinge joint, so they do articulate rather well. And then the waist is on I think a ball joint. Yep. So you can get some crunch on him. But it's really hard to move the waist because he's so small. And then the legs, they don't go up 90. They go up about that far. The knees do go back, like that. And then there's a hinge on the foot. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, you could really get him, you know, almost like he's going to try. Oh, his hand just fell off. Almost like he's going to fly. As you can see here, this is just, hand goes on real easy. You could almost get like he's like taking off flying. Like a little Superman. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and change out the arms now to give him another look with the megaphone. Okay, so all these Bring Arts FF7 figures are based off the artwork that Numera did for the original FF7 back in the 90s. And if you look up Numera's artwork online, the concept art, promotional art, whatever you want to call it, this is what it looked like. This is the angle and the pose that Cait Sith has on top of the Moogle. It's actually sitting a bit lower. Maybe I should do like this. You really can't see his hand in the photo. It's like behind, but his hand's down like this. And the tail is actually over this way, and the cape is up. But it's kind of like that. It's kind of the look from that photo, which I was going to print out, but I never did. But you can look it up online, or maybe you already know. But yeah, that's it right there. So that is so cool that he can strike that pose. I probably won't do this exact one. I might have him jumping on top of it like he's leaping. But regardless, let's go ahead and just do a, see how tall this guy is. Without Cait, it comes in at about 5.5 inches tall. So the Moogle is about 5.5 inches tall. With Cait on it kneeling, it's 8 inches. So if you stood him up, probably about 8.5 inches tall. And the width of this Moogle is like 7.5 inches with a fist. So this is nothing to squawk at, man. This is a good size 1/12 scale Bring Arts figure. So let me get him another pose, and then I'll bring in the other team around him. All right, and this is what it's all about right here. Were these figures overpriced? Absolutely. Do they have some issues QC wise? A lot of them do. Does this not look awesome together? Absolutely. If you're a Final Fantasy VII fan, especially with the original game, this you've got to be smiling right now. This should bring a smile to your face. To see Numera's artwork in 3D, format, in a figure format, is a good feeling for a Final Fantasy fan. And let me just zoom in a little bit, and I still have to. I have Vincent. I saved Vincent for last, but we need to add Vincent still. My next review will be Vincent. Stay tuned for that, and he'll be added in. He'll probably be over here on the left next to Cloud. But look at how awesome these are. And as big as that Moogle is, he's almost hard to see because Barrett's so big. I may have to put Barrett on the back right side, maybe, and bring Red and Sid in a little bit. But regardless, I mean, these guys all look fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. Okay, so at the end of the day, is little Cait Sith and his fat Moogle worth it? Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. These figures are very expensive. They're overpriced. And this one didn't have really too bad of a QC issue. They're getting better. Starting with Red, I think they got better. Red, Sid, Yuffie, I don't really have any QC issues with those figures. Or Barrett, for that matter. They've gotten better in the QC department. His head does fall off. It's fallen off a couple times now. So just, maybe I got to push it harder on the peg. I'm afraid to. Just keep that in mind. Maybe it's just my copy. I don't know. But I mean, so let me tell you what I paid for this guy and what he's going for at retailers right now. I got him from Plaza Japan, and I paid $106.73, so $106 for him. And I got him and Vincent together, so shipping was like, let's just say $15 for each one. So you figure that's like 120 something, whatever. Let's just say 120. If you go to BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store, right now, and this is the last day of April in 2025, I'm reviewing this. He's for pre-order for $134.99. The price is blown up because of probably the tariff thing. I don't know. Over at Square Enix North, he's currently unavailable, sold out, and he was $120.99. So I pretty much got him for what I would have gotten him from Square Enix, maybe a little cheaper, a few bucks cheaper going through Plaza Japan. So if you look at the price now, though, on Plaza Japan, he's going for $129. So I don't know if he's sold out and they got a few copies in, they raised the price, or if they raised the price because of the tariff thing. I have no idea what's going on with that now, but that's just where he's at. So he's not cheap. None of these are cheap for being, 6-inch figures. And actually they're all on the small side for being 1/12 scale. So you have to judge if he's worth it for you. If he is, I would say, go through like I did Plaza Japan, maybe Ami still has them. I didn't check there, but you can save some bucks doing that. Most of these I'm saving at least $20 on, except for this one. So for me, it is worth it to have my team fleshed out, to add Vincent here in a minute, and to have the whole main party from FF7 in Numera's artwork. I am beyond happy to have these. Were they worth it? Price-wise, no. But nostalgia-wise and happy-wise, yes, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So you have to judge for yourself. Just know that you're paying a lot, and there is some QC issues with some of the older figures. But man, I tell you what, I got a lot of joy right now. This figure has brought me joy. I'm shocked at how big the fat Moogle is and how cute Cait Sith. I mean, he's really cool. He comes with a megaphone with materia in it. He's got some good articulation. They gave some extra arms. They gave a bit more with this release than they typically do. So that's a good sign. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, this has been Bring Arts, Cait Sith, and Fat Moogle. Thanks for watching.